Good morning and welcome to our Board of Commissioners meeting. This is Tuesday, March 3rd, and I just want to say what a jovial group we have this morning. I love all the networking and communication that was going on this morning before the meeting. So at this time, I will call the meeting to order. And we do not have any special recognitions today, but we will then move to public comment. So today we have Miss Tina Hobbs that will come to the podium. Thank you.
Good morning. Very often. Good morning, ladies. I understand that 2026-149 for the YRC has been ratified, which means it's been approved. But I would like for y'all to go to the YRC to see what's really being taught to these kids, how it's being taught, and who is teaching it. I just got a few questions about that. How many students will attend the day or evening classes? What specific programs will be taught at the center, and what initiatives will they accomplish? What staffing arrangements have been established to operate the center? The 1 to 4 is what it used to be. And who is certified to teach the classes? Who's responsible for providing the curriculum? What specific classes are planned to be taught? Do we have certified tutors available and instructors? What teaching certifications are held for the specific programs offered at the center? And are these certifications provided by the state? Are snacks sufficient compared to an actual meal? Because in the daytime, it's from like 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And if they just have a snack, that's not a meal. And at nighttime, it's from like 3 o'clock till 8:30 to 9 o'clock, and that needs a meal too. But they really only get snacks. That's what was on the thing today. What revenues were received by the grants, by the county, by the state, for the students each year for the last 5 years? Where does the leftover money go from the grants? Are any classes being held outside of weekdays? Because sometimes it has some on Saturdays, there's special things. What education requirements are necessary for instructors and tutors? Are education consultants teaching curriculum, and what state certifications are needed? What type of tutoring do they help with homework, reading, or math is being provided pertaining to the $42 per student? Because I know that's not going to pay the salaries and all for everybody. Who is tracking the effectiveness of the classes? You know, did it work? Did it not? Have we ever tracked that? And what are the specific funding sources for the YRC? I love the YRC. It is for the kids that get in trouble, but they put them on the right track. And that's what we need more for these kids. I'm going to send y'all these questions through the email because I'd just like to get an answer back. But I just really think with the new judge that I'm not sure if he knows really what's going on with up there, and I just like that to be looked at.
Have you addressed these to him?
Yes, but I didn't get an answer back.
You emailed him
Yes.
the questions? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
If you'll make sure to copy the clerk, she'll
Okay.
also make sure
Alrighty.
that we get those too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, next we have Mr. George Kalichek.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, citizens, employees of Rockdale County. Just several items I did want to follow up from what Tina presented. Through our investigations with the Eye of the Taxpayer Association, we found out that there was a new van bus purchased in 2024. We were wondering if it was ever delivered. And if not, was that funding put into a separate account? And we want to find out more about transportation as far as parent drop-off. Do there need to be a CDL certified people driving the bus if it's over 15 passengers? Are there safety cameras in here to make sure that we're abiding by the rules and regulations of the van operation or bus operation? And if our information shows that it was leased, what is the annual lease payment? Would it have been better to buy the bus? We don't know. So we do want to sit down and have a very nice coffee or tea meeting and, just find out the answers to these items.
And where did you see this bus purchased?
Well, we don't know. That's what we're trying to find out. There is a van, but we don't know about this bus that was leased or purchased. So we just want to find out.
Parks and Recreation Department?
No, that's with YRC. That's where it was leased through. So
Where did you hear about the bus?
through our internal investigations.
Okay, so if you'll just send an email as well to the
Right.
clerk, and we'll
Yep.
try and figure out the information that you received.
Okay, thank you. Some other information, as you know, I've been down at the Capitol a good bit over the last few weeks. Proud to announce House Resolution 1416 was introduced on February the 19th, which now proposes a creation of a joint study committee on the generational stability of family farms. And this is a follow-up from the Senate Study Committee well over a year ago. As you know, we've lost 2.6 million acres in farmland to unplanned development throughout the state since 1974. And if this is one of the measures that they're taking at the state level, because if we don't do something and make this secure by 2040, we'll lose another 800,000 acres of farmland. There was a Senate study committee, and I'll give you some copies of this, regarding tourism in the state. And as we know, agritourism is the largest increasing sector of that. But from a state brand marketing concept, Georgia spent $5 million, Tennessee spent $40 million. And can I have a little extra time here? And we'll also provide you information on HB 812 and Senate Bill 447, which are going through the legislative process right now, which will affect all the planning and soil and erosion permitting processes throughout the state. Plenty of negotiations still going on with ourselves, Georgia Municipal Association, and ACCG. And finally, we're having our annual Georgia Soil Water Conservation Commission Erosion and Control Day in Athens on March the 10th. Our local representatives that do our inspections are already enrolled, so I will share that when we finish up today.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thanks for your good work. All right, at this time, we will move to our agenda.
Madam Chair and Commissioner Williams, before you get to approval of the agenda, I would like to request that the board amend your agenda this morning to remove item 2026-154. It is a duplicate item that was approved last month.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, at this time, I'd like to make a motion for an approval of the agenda with the amendment being removed.
I second the motion. Oh, are you finished?
That's okay. All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Next, we have approval of the minutes for February 17th, 2026. So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now we'll move to item number 6, unfinished business.
And item number 6, which is 138, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County, Georgia, acknowledging and authorizing the implementation of environmental health fees adopted by the Rockdale County Board of Health. We would also like to request this item be deferred to your next board meeting to allow the agency to address you during that time.
Okay, thank you.
I move to defer the resolution until the next regularly scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting.
Okay, I second that motion. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Item number 7, new business.
Okay, so would you like me just to keep reading these items collectively?
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you. And if you'll denote for item number 140, where the service is. Is that the sheriff's office? If you'll just clarify.
No, so this is multiple locations.
Okay.
Courthouse administration, sheriff's office, the community center, magistrate court, and the Johnson Park.
Okay, very good.
Right, okay. Item 140 is with Cone Incorporated through the General Services Department. This is elevator services to the county. It's change order number 1 to contract 2026-02. This is no cost increase. It's additional documents for signature only. The amount is $12,539.04. This is for a 3-year term for various funding accounts and is a budgeted item.
I move to approve. Oh, you're going, never mind.
Collectively? Okay,
Yeah.
right. I will keep going. Item 141 is with Quality Tire Recycling LLC through the General Services Recycling Center Division. This is 2026 drop and hook agreement for the scrap tire pickup at the recycling center. Change order number 3 to contract 2022-16. It's a price increase of $5 per ton for a total not to exceed $14,988 based on a monthly pickup for the tonnage and service fees. This is for 1 year through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 142 is with Quality Tire Recycling through the General Services Fleet Division for the 2026 drop and hook agreement for tires utilized by vehicles and equipment for fleet services. This is a renewal change order number 3 to contract 2022-15. The amount is $5,910. This is for 1 year through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 143 is with Enterprise Fleet Management through the General Services Department for changes in leases for 3 vehicles from the original 2026 Board of Commissioners replacement program. This is change order number 25 to contract 2022-164. It's a decrease in the price of $2,613.60 for all 3 vehicles. The new price is $32,394.44. This is for 60 months. It's capital improvements program projects funded. This is a budgeted item and is submitted for ratification. Item 144 is with Impact Office Interiors through the General Services Department for the furniture at the historic courthouse. The amount is $57,719.25. It's for 90 days from notice to proceed. This is SPLOST funded and is a budgeted item.
I'd like to hear more about that.
Okay.
Good morning, Madam Commissioner and
Good
Chair.
morning.
I can give you the overview, or did you have specific questions about that?
Give us the overview.
Okay,
Then
so-
if I have specific
Okay,
questions.
sounds good. All right. So as part of our judicial and administrative complex, we have several different pieces. We have the new courthouse, we have the administration building, and the renovations to both the 3-story annex and the historical portion of it. The historical portion, because we have the 1937 post office and the 1939 courthouse, we're doing selective. We're not just demolishing it or doing major renovations. We're doing selective pieces to it to transform it into the more modern courtrooms that will be consistent with the new courthouse that we're building. So it all tied together as a big complex. Part of that are several different elements for low voltage, fiber, computer things, and also furniture, so that the offices that are in the historic part and the courtrooms that are there and the judges' chambers, things like that, will all match the exact same furniture and style and everything and be consistent with the new construction and the renovations. So this piece is one of those pieces to replace the broken and the failing and the very old furniture that was in Judge Wood's courtroom, her chambers, the conference room, the jury pool room, and the witness area that's sort of the back of the house behind the courtrooms, and this will be furniture that's outfitting all of that. So we put that out to
So-
bid as one small package.
So in the historic part, are we keeping the essence of the
Yes.
old courthouse?
Yes, the rotunda will stay the same. The 1939 courtroom will stay the same.
Okay.
What is now Judge Bill's, the other Superior Court courtroom, will stay the same because they're beautiful courtrooms.
Yes.
We'll be refreshing them, maybe doing some paint.
Okay.
We've already upgraded some of the lighting. We've done some flooring. If you've been out there, you notice that old pink carpet. It should be red, but it's so old It was pink. We've replaced that. So a lot of refreshing to that building. We're working on the roof. And so there's a lot of pieces to it that you do selective with a historic building that you would do maybe a total renovation with a newer building.
Thank you.
So that's part of that.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Item 145 is with the Georgia Department of Corrections through the Sheriff's Office. It's an intergovernmental agreement for the jail's J-FIT unit to receive additional correctional training. The amount is $7,750. It's until training course has been completed. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 146 is with the Association County Commissioners of Georgia Civic Affairs Foundation. It's for Emergency Management Agency, the Georgia County Internship Program grant recipients for summer 2026. There is a maximum reimbursement of $3,000 up to 200 hours. The term is May 1st, 2026 through September 1st, 2026, and this is grant funded. Item 147 is with Reconnect through Superior Court 2 for recovery and supervision services for the Drug Court, Resource Court, DUI Court, for adult accountability courts. It's $12,000 per year. The term is 36 months, and then it auto-renews for 12-month periods until canceled. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item. Item 148 is with Kaiser Permanente through the Human Resources Department for biometric screenings and wellness activities portal. This is part of the Kaiser Wellness Credits. This is at no cost to the county. The term is January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Item 149 is with the Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice through the Juvenile Court for Youth Reporting Center. It's change order number 4 to contract 2022-01. It's $42 per youth per day at revenue to the county. The term is July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. This is grant funded, is a budgeted item, and is submitted for ratification. Item 150 is a requisition through the General Services Department for TSA Incorporated. This is for the backup cloud storage for surveillance at the mental health ward for 1 year. The amount is $20,218.27. This is SPLOST funded and is a budgeted item.
So with this one, we're talking about the new pod at the jail. Is that what we're talking
Director
about?
Hammer, once again.
Good morning again. Yes, so this is part of the last piece, the mental health stabilization unit.
Right.
They have cameras on there, and because of their requirements, they're required to store them, and we have several elements to try to keep the cost down. One is on-site, but then when it's longer than 90 days and they need additional storage, they're able to use the cloud storage for additional backup time. That way they preserve it in accordance with their regulations.
Okay, is there
Yes,
some reason we're calling it the mental health ward? Because I thought it was the mental health stabilization unit that you just said.
It is the mental health stabilization unit, but when we first started the project, a couple years ago, that was the project name that we had assigned to it at the time, so it's kind of stuck with it,
Okay.
but they're going to do that, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
All right. Item 151 is a requisition through the Transportation Department for ACOM for Tucker Mill Road at SR 212 Scott Highway for the traffic engineering study. The amount is $43,533.90. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item.
Can you stop right there for
Yes.
us? Director Kelly, can you present on that item? Please. And talk about the other work on 212 that we discussed.
So, good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. So yes, we all know 212 is a high-profile area. Lots of cars. Car count is significant every day. I want to say there are 25,000 plus. Several sections in there. We have intersections 138. This one here in particular is Tucker and Honey Creek is a little bit off because you have two high-capacity roads coming into a third that's generating lots of traffic, lots of turns, lots of vehicles. So this study, this particular location, is what can we do to resolve that? There have been some histories of accidents, left-hand turns, people making some wrong decisions on speeds. So we're looking at what are our options. Is a roundabout work? And there's even some discussions about maybe a 8, where you'd have 2 roundabouts that mimic the number 8 to allow people to come out of Honey Creek and Tucker Mill at the same time. But we need to understand, what does that do to other parts of 212? Does that push issues somewhere else? How does that affect the flow of traffic throughout that whole area? There's a secondary area that we're looking at as well, which is a high profile area, Smyrna and 212, which is maybe half a mile up. That is significant. There's a church right here with lots of property. There's some homes, and then we have several issues there that we need to look at. We have done the study for that one already, and we are looking at recommendations with GDOT, because GDOT is, of course, the owner operator for 212, but we're looking at recommending roundabouts, a large scale roundabout there for that one, versus a actual signal. And we're going to coordinate with GDOT on that to get their concurrence.
So I know this comes out of the general fund, which means your budget.
Correct.
So for that area, talk about the funding mechanisms for projects on 212, since it's a state highway.
So this one is a little bit unique. Since it is a state highway, we would look to coordinate with ARC on what affects the area. So population growth, what that does to area. So that is identical for both Tucker Mill, Honey Creek, and this one, because this is going to affect a large scale of everyone that flows for homes, business, so on and so forth. So this is something that we would turn to GDOT, but also turn to ARC for opportunities for funding because of the large scale implications of those changes. So we would look at grants through them, possibilities to get their concurrence to buy in because of the magnitude of this. So it would help us work in that area.
And would this money count towards any matching funds?
Likely it would.
Okay.
Likely it would.
Okay.
That typically, depending on what it is 80-20 for large scale projects, and sometimes it's 70-30 depending on what the actual project is. But there will likely be a matching component to that.
I'd prefer 90-10, but that's just me.
I haven't seen that yet, but we'll try to get there.
All right.
I thought you'd say 100%.
Well, I'm being flexible. That's me being
Just
flexible.
trying to be realistic, right?
I haven't seen those yet, but
Thank you very much.
Okay, item 152 is a requisition through the Sheriff's Office for GT distributors for SWAT vests. The amount is $19,986. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 153 is a requisition through Water Resources for Ferguson Enterprises for AFC hydrants. The amount is $71,485.40. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 155 is a requisition through Water Resources for Delta Municipal Supply for emergency requests for replacement of 2 damaged meters supporting local residential communities. The amount is $44,000. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item and is submitted for ratification.
And let me ask about that to Director Peak, if I may. For this item, when we're replacing damaged meters, is that fee then assessed to the neighborhood, or how are those funds spent?
No, ma'am. This fee is not assessed to the neighborhood. This actually, we're paying for it out of our enterprise fund. These are large meters, size 8-inch meters, and that's why the cost is what it is.
Significant,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And there's 2 of them that needed to be replaced.
Okay. All right. How old are the meters we're replacing? would you
These
guess?
meters are pretty old. They've been in the ground for several years. I don't know specifically how many, but I know it's been in
But
several
for
years.
accuracy
It was pretty old.
purposes,
It was
it's
pretty
good to
old.
replace
Just
them.
looking at the material of the meter.
Okay.
It was
Thank
pretty
you.
damaged. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All
Very
right.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 156 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for Herc Rentals. This is for a pull-behind 500-gallon vacuum trailer with pressure washer. The amount is $78,240. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 157 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for Vortex Company for the Almond Branch Sewer Upsizing Phase 1. The amount is $4,059,971.32. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 158 is an expenditure request through Physical Link Communication for technology services for installing fiber lines for the Water Central Security Program cameras. The amount is $36,742. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 159 is a list of surplus of equipment, and as always, you can go to the website to see our surplus equipment at www.govdeals.com. The first department is Fire Rescue. We have Parks and Recreation through the Senior Services Division, Planning and Development through the Code Enforcement Division, the Sheriff's Office, Transportation Department, and Water Resources. Item 160 is Disaster Debris Management Plan through the Emergency Management Agency. Item 161 is a resolution amending Resolution 2025-05 and amended resolution number 2025-17 to further extend the temporary moratorium on certain residential development activities through June 30th, 2026, and for other purposes.
Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Clerk. Yes, if we could have Director White come to the podium.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. And so this is a request to extend the moratorium. It expires this month. And so what we wanted to do is align the moratorium's termination with the completion of the UDO update. And so this additional 3 months.
Which is the Unified Development Ordinance.
Yes, ma'am.
Just for our viewers.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. And so that'll allow us to bring both of those things together later this summer and tackle some of the residential challenges and requests and desires that we've heard from the community and get those things done. So there'll be a seamless transition between the end of the moratorium and the start of the new UDO.
Okay.
Yes.
I know that the developers, of course, were not happy when we established the moratorium. But on the other hand, the developers are not happy with how it's looking at this point.
Correct.
And so there needs to be some time. It takes time to make all those adjustments.
Correct.
So-
Yes.
Excuse me. So I think this is good to do this so that we can get it right. It's easier to just stop, get it right, than it is to go back and say, oh, we need to change this and this and this.
That is the plan. And so this additional time, especially March, April, will give us time to address the feedback we heard from the town hall. We're introducing some new zoning districts, removing some others. So we still need to tinker and refine the lot standards, some of the bulk standards that go along with those things based on the feedback that we heard. So this will give us time to do those things.
Okay, thank you.
As much as I didn't want to extend it, kudos to you and your team for talking me into it.
Yes, ma'am.
I, in all fairness to the small business, owners and developers, we want to make sure that they have time to give thoughtful feedback and make sure on our side that we're doing our best job researching other communities and practices and really creating a better community through the upgrades in the Unified Development Ordinance. And I know we've given citizens a lot of opportunities to give feedback about the Unified Development Ordinances and the changes, but I think still there's a lot of people that want to have input as we come to a close on the upgrades that'll be made. So we'll look forward to more meetings and opportunities for the public to engage.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
We'll make sure we advertise. Thank you for the consideration.
Yes.
So, Madam Chair and Commissioner Williams, if we could stop right here and take items 140 through 161, and then we can take 162 separately.
Correct. Okay, very good. I make a motion to approve items, I believe we said 138?
I would say 140. 138 was deferred, so
Oh, that's right. So 140
through 161.
through 161. make a motion to approve those items?
I second the motion.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 162 is text amendment case 2026-03, an ordinance of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County, Georgia to repeal in its entirety Subpart B, Planning and Development of the Code of Ordinances of Rockdale County and all prior Unified Development Ordinances and amendments thereto, to adopt a new Subpart B, Planning and Development, entitled the Unified Development Ordinance of Rockdale County, Georgia, dated February 24, 2026, to provide for incorporation into the Code of Ordinances, to provide for continuation of prior zoning conditions and approvals, to authorize codification, renumbering, and technical corrections, to provide for severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to provide for an effective date, and for other purposes. This is submitted for a first reading.
Okay, so for some people that might have sounded like blah, 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 but it's so much more.
So exciting.
So we want to make sure that people understand that this vote will mean that it goes to the Planning Commission for further discussion and review. And so we hope that the public will continue to engage with this process. I believe the website is rockdaleudo.gov. Okay. rockdaleudo.gov, and we'll put that on the taping today so people have access to that.
So are we jumping the gun a little bit since we just extended the
So let's
whole
talk about that.
process?
So I think you're not jumping the gun. So what you're doing by putting this into the public hearing process, you're allowing, in fact, more opportunities for people to comment on these items that are going through the public hearing process. If you were to delay this, you would put yourself up against a tighter timeline for anything that could happen while it's winding its way through the process.
So let's talk about just a couple of items that might be heard during this process that citizens may be interested in, because it seems complex, but they're real things that could be up for consideration that we've heard from citizens.
Yes.
So can you talk about a couple of those?
Yes, ma'am. So a few things that we've touched on, as I mentioned before, the introduction of new zoning districts. So we're considering a conservation village zoning district to replace some of the existing agricultural residential zoning districts that we have now. We're also looking at the introduction of tiny home development as a housing option for Rockdale County, cottage development style. So they're both single-family detached homes in general, but the clustering of the homes is a different type of arrangement. And so I know you've heard a lot about the missing middle, various conferences and training exercises, and so that's a big thing in the planning world. And so we want to bring and introduce those housing products and concepts to our UDO as additional options for housing. Accessory dwelling units, ADUs, allowing for that accessory option on single-family detached properties for, if you have seniors on site, you have kids. In certain instances, you may have kids that can't afford to have their own place. This is another option where you can keep them close and cut down on some of the costs. Looking at that, updating the use table. So we hear about the dislikes all the time, be it, well, I won't call any particular uses, but certain uses that may not be desired by the community. So this is an opportunity for the community to come in and weigh in on what things are allowed, what things are prohibited, which zoning districts should they be allowed in, should there be restrictions, limitations to those uses. All of those things are part of this process.
And so in the working of that process, is there a consideration for transitional housing?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we have addressed that with our consultant in the use table. We're still refining it. So we're looking at the number of individuals that will be allowed in those settings, and then where they're appropriate, which zoning districts are most appropriate based on the number of people. So we're still working on that right now.
Okay, because I had a phone call yesterday from somebody who's interested in establishing this. I think she probably isn't ready to do that yet, but she was trying to just get some information. As we don't, the only, as my understanding is right now, the only zoning that allows that kind of thing is commercial. Is that-
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And so will we keep that the same, or will we?
So we're exploring introducing it in residential areas with some limitations. It may include a special use permit, which will be a public hearing process. The community will get an opportunity to see the plans, to weigh in.
Yeah, that would be
on
really
it.
hard to get past.
Yeah, that's an option. We'll also look at some other conditions. We'll look at the state regulations as well to see if they're appropriate in residential areas and what that transition should be between commercial institutions and then residential institutions.
And I think collectively, the board has talked about looking for diversity in our housing models and the aesthetics to be of high caliber. So some of those things have been addressed through this process, but we
Yes.
appreciate your team's good work in trying to carry out the vision for a better looking Rockdale as we continue forward with some of the things that were, permitted and on the books from years ago, but, still haven't been carried out. We want to make sure that those are a nice addition to the community.
Yes, ma'am, understood.
All right. Thank you.
So we need a motion.
Okay.
So I move to approve the first read and refer the ordinance to the Planning Commission.
I second that motion. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. All right, and that concludes our agenda items. At this time, we have board comment. Commissioner Williams.
Okay, I am super excited, Director Holmes, of our Arts Matter program that is coming up on March 24th at the JP Carr Center from 6 to 8 p.m. The idea is to look at how the arts impact health, the community, engagement, economic development. As I thought of more things this morning that we need to include. It's such a vast array. The goal is for people to gain an understanding, but also to experience the arts, so that when you leave, you've had a little touch of the arts, some visual arts, some musical arts. We're hoping to get some dramatic kinds of skits or monologues. And just think about, there's some evidence that says that it can actually relieve stress, calm you down, and make your brain start working more creatively itself. But there's also a lot of other impacts from the arts. So that will be March 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. at JP Carr Community Center. So the entire community is invited. We've invited students, we've invited some adults to participate, and I am really excited about this one. During Women's History Month, I would like to recognize and thank my fellow women board members.
Thank you. And
Commissioner
likewise.
Tawanya Smith,
Yes.
who's empty this morning, and Chairwoman Van Ness for their leadership and dedication to Rockdale County. I also want to honor all the women who serve and support our community, from public safety and public works to administration, courts, and volunteer leadership. Their commitment, expertise, and compassion make a lasting difference every single day. In celebration of Women's History Month, I'd like to highlight Joan Trumpauer Mulholland, whom I had the pleasure of meeting at the airport as we were boarding our flight to come back to Atlanta after the conference in D.C. Her inspired story includes becoming a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, marking 63 years of service, and she continues her legacy through the Joan Trumpauer Mulholland Foundation, which supports HBCU students and preserves civil rights history. One of the things that she talked to me about was she showed me a picture of the sit-in at Woolworths. In the most common, most used photograph of that, she's right in the middle of it.
Incredible.
And I had seen an article about her, and when I realized that was who was sitting next to me at the airport, I was like, whoa, this is really a big deal. Her nonprofit provides weekly scholarships, and her dedication is a powerful reminder of the impact women have in shaping our communities and the world. So she was part of the sit-ins and all the civil rights engagement movements. Her T-shirt is her mugshot from when she was put in jail when she was a college kid. So to learn more or to support her work, you can visit www.beajone.org, which her son now manages and has her schedule for her. She was off to St. Louis to speak to a group there. She's well into her 80s. So,
Impressive.
those are my comments.
Very good. Deputy Director White, can you come up and tell everybody about a couple of events we have coming up in the near future? We have one on March 13th.
March 13th, yes, we have DCA 101.
The Department of Community Affairs.
That is right. Department of Community Affairs is going to be speaking, and you are going to be hosting it. We originally had it scheduled for JP Carr. The turnout, we set up a Eventbrite account for people to get tickets, free to attend. Sold out in 3 days, so we've had to relocate it next door to the auditorium, but it'll be between 10 a.m. and noon, and it will be hosted by the Department of Community Affairs, and there's going to be a lot of topics, including vouchers, homelessness, several other topics off the top of my hand. I can't quite recollect, but we have the flyer.
Grant opportunities.
Grant
is one
opportunities.
as well. Yeah.
We have the flyer on the Facebook page of Rockdale County. So anyone watching the stream that is not familiar, go to the page. You'll see the whole flyer, and it's got all the topics listed, and there's still tickets available on Eventbrite.
Very good. And this is a collaborative effort because the Department of Community Affairs offers this 101 seminar as information to the community. This is not a voucher registration or anything like that for residents who are looking to get a voucher. That is not what this event is about. It's about simply telling about program options for Rockdale County and seeing what we have in place at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
So should be a great event, and I appreciate their staff members that'll be here on site to answer questions for people.
Yes.
As well.
And we should also, there's the flyer right there
Yes.
for people who are in the audience or watching the stream. So yes, it will be 10 to noon. Community development block grants, community home investment programs, Georgia Dream, utilizing downtown resources to support small businesses. So it's going to be a really great event, and obviously we're going to have a very big turnout.
Yes,
And
we're excited about that.
We should also point out that your big event in April, the State of the County, we have shifted the date from Wednesday, April the 29th to Tuesday, April the 28th. So it will now be the day before, same time, 9 o'clock in the morning. Doors will open at 8 o'clock.
At the
And
auditorium.
where will it be?
In the auditorium next door. Yes, ma'am.
Next door. So should be a good event with lots of information for our community members and businesses. And then we also, I thought we had our farmers market is coming up it's going to be Sunday, April 19th. The plans for that are still in the works, but that will be our kickoff right before Earth Day. So that event will be starting Sundays about 1 to 4, and then Wednesdays we'll do 3:30 to 6:30 roughly. We are fine-tuning the hours for that, with the one on Sunday being at 1400 Parker Road, and the one on Wednesdays right now tentatively scheduled at Pine Log Park.
Wonderful. We
So-
will definitely have a big PR push on that for sure.
Yes, and for the community members, anybody that knows farmers or other people that have maybe cottage licenses and making food that's already gone through the process with environmental health are able to participate, as well as artisans. So we look for a good range of options to be at those events, and we're excited to re-energize and get the farmers market back in order. So
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to being a part of it, too.
yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Commissioner Williams.
All right. At this time, if there's no other comments for the board, you're good?
I'm good.
Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. All right, we'll play this video then, and this is for any citizens who are interested in any open records requests. This will share information with you.
We are excited to announce the launch of a new online service designed with you in mind to streamline your request for public records. Here's how you do it. First thing you'll need to do is go to the Rockdale County website and then click Government and then Open Records Request. This takes you to our new digital Open Records Request page that looks like this. Next, sign up and create a new account. Once you're logged in, you'll be able to make Open Records requests. Everything is broken out into different county departments that you can make requests for. You can select Board of Commissioners, Planning and Development, Rockdale County Fire Rescue, E911, or Parks and Recreation. If the department you are looking for isn't shown, please keep in mind that the Sheriff's Office and other elected offices handle their own records requests. This new portal is only for departments that are directly under the BOC. Once you select which department you're submitting a request for, you'll see this screen. Fill out your name, phone number, email address, street address, the description of your request, then under I Request, select Only to Review/Inspect, paper copies, or electronic copies when available. You can also attach any extra information you may have at the very bottom, then hit Submit. At any time, you can track the status of your request by hitting Track Status. Electronic copies will be sent directly to your email address. Paper copies will be mailed to your mailing address. And it's just that easy. This is another way that Rockdale County is working for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I also wanted to say that across the country, yesterday in schools across America, Dr. Seuss's Day was celebrated. And so children were reading across America, and that's super exciting. I know there's a lot of activities that are going on this week, but we know that the school systems, private schools, homeschool parents, everybody collectively should be reading to their children, right? We know that significantly improves a child's education, and education is a ticket to anywhere you want to go. So whether it's Fox and Socks or other places you'll go, there's so many books to choose from that Dr. Seuss authored. And so I hope that parents will be encouraged by just this message, and grandparents and community members to get involved in the schools in the community. There are opportunities for mentorship. The Boys and Girls Club also has opportunities for mentorship. And so it's just a phone call away to get engaged and be a part of a child's education. So with that being said, at this time, do we have a need for executive session?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. Then I adjourn this meeting and wish you well. Thank you.